Hi, I'm Vydehi Kadur and I'm a resident of Malhar. I am a production and creative designer at Felis Creations. Apart from that, I'm an illustrator as well. Today, I will be speaking about my other passion, which is diving. What got you into diving and what was your first dive like? My family and I were on a holiday in Sri Lanka. We were sitting on the beach and my young cousin, who was about 12 at that time, was swimming beyond the waves along with a French swimmer and the lifeguard. And I thought if this tiny kid could do it, it should be easy enough for me to go and swim with them. And within 2 minutes, the ocean had, churned me up and spat me out. And that sort of shook me up. So that's when I started thinking about scuba diving and free diving, and decided that when I went on my solo trip to Thailand the same year, I would go and get certified. Which has been your most unforgettable dive location so far and why? Every dive place will be memorable for a different reason. However, I will talk about my most recent one, which was a trip to the Barren Islands, that is on the east coast of Andamans. We dived in 3 different spots around the island, and each of them was different. One was full of purple soft coral, one was just bare black sand, and one was full of green sponges with orange anthias fish. It was almost like an alien world, which I had never seen before. How long does it take to get certified, and do you need to know swimming? The basic certification, that is the open water certification, that takes about 3 days to finish, inclusive of your dives and your exams. Do you need to know swimming? To do a certification, yes, you would need to know swimming. But if you want to just do the try diving or discover scuba dive, you don't necessarily need to be a swimmer. What's one dive practice that every diver must follow, no matter what? Never dive alone. You should always dive with an experienced buddy based on your certification. You should decide, the kind of buddy you need to be going with. That is very, very, very important, because you don't know how the sea conditions can change. And if you're not from that area, you wouldn't even know the currents that could affect you when you dive. So yes, always dive with a buddy. How has diving changed your life above water? I have never felt like I have lived in the moment until I dived. Because when you're there, especially when you do free diving, you are there with a single breath of air. You know how precious those few seconds are to you, and all you do is live in that exact moment without any thoughts of the world above. What's in your dive gear bag and your underwater photography kit? So for this question, I'm going to have to take you guys to my gear. I decided to first invest in my masks, the free diving mask, which has low volume, and then my scuba diving mask. This is my scuba diving fins. And this, you can see by contrast, is the huge free diving fins. It is absolutely essential for us to have some sort of a sock or a dive boot. This also helps you when you're wading in the shallow water to get into the boat. In case there are sharp objects that you shouldn't be stepping on, these can protect you. After that comes my dive computer, my dive watch, which tells me what depth I am going to, what kind of air I am using, what kind of time we're spending down below. And it tells me when my time is up, if I'm going too deep. All of that is especially essential. So this is a very important piece of gear, the dive computer. This is what we called an LPI, and that helps you manage the air and your buoyancy in the water. In this bag, I have another very important piece, which is a reef hook. It is extremely useful in strong currents to hook onto a rock, so you are safe in one place, until your dive guide tells you what to do next. This is what we call an SMB, This is something we use to mark which position we're in. This unfurls and opens up, and when you inflate, it becomes like a vertical balloon that marks the area where you are diving. Let me show you my camera gear next. This is a Canon R7 with a wide-angle lens, an 18-10 wide-angle lens. This is the Canon RF 100mm. This is a beauty and helps me get all my artistic shots. But the most important underwater gear and the most expensive is this. This is what keeps my camera waterproof and safe when I'm diving. This helps you create a vacuum inside your housing. So that way, once that vacuum seal is created, when you go below and the water pressure increases, the water cannot enter inside your housing. Every underwater housing will need a port, a lens port. So for the wide angle lens, we use this kind of a dome port. This camera mounts here, and this is what we use to stabilize our shots when we're underwater. This is a video light, which is about 4,000 lumen. This is a strobe flash, which helps bring out the true colors of the corals and the fish, which otherwise the blue of the water sort of washes out. As an artist, I worked professionally for many years before I suddenly stopped because, the daily drudgeries of work and life took over. And what I realized is that it wasn't motivation or time management, but I lacked inspiration. But when I went diving and saw the world underneath, all that inspiration came rushing back. And it is this equipment that has helped me reconnect back to my art, which I'd like to show you. This is one of my first pieces that I did after I started diving. This shows a composition of manta rays that are coming towards me. So this came from a moment in Maldives when we were actually swimming with a whale shark. I happened to turn around and then I saw about, 40, 50 manta rays just come in from the side, turn towards me and come towards me as they were feeding. This is called stippling, where we use to create the image with a series of dots, only dots, no lines, no coloring, only different intensities of dots to create the light, shadow, and thereby the whole image. This again is inspired from the reefs of the Maldives, where I've chosen some of the most commonly seen coral species to create this work of art. As a diver, we should consider ourselves extremely privileged to be able to witness the marine world. And because of that, if anyone else is looking to be a diver, there are a few things that they should keep in mind. One is to be a very conscious visitor. No matter which place you're going to, respect the local culture, respect their way of life, and respect the marine world. Don't pick up shells and corals. Do not touch any of the animals that are there. It's for their safety and for yours. As tempting as it may be, give marine wildlife their space and enjoy your dive with your hands to yourself.